Chocolate is my drone arriving at your base at 20 seconds. Anyways, I'm ready whenever. And they check to see whether I'm casting, whether I'm ready, and I am absolutely asleep at the wheel. It's Chocolate versus NineK on Ruby Rock. Very macro-heavy map. Very good map. I like this map. Even though it's my worst map by statistics. I'm like a 1 in 8 on this map. But as we spawn down here in the bottom right, is the man, the myth, the legend himself. Representing Platinum Heroes, it is Cheoklate. Cheoklate. It just reminds me of that SpongeBob meme. And up here in the top left, did I say bottom left? I'm gonna introduce, whatever. In the top left, representing my clan, all inspiration, it is the biggest of daddies. It is NineK. Spawning in as Terran. So Overlord going to be coming out. Cheoklate rocking the banger simulant skin here, as these drones are just going to be nibbling at high speed efficiency on this very primitive hatchery. It's the kind of hatchery you might see in a Zerg medieval era, as it is going to be a 15 hatch. Barracks coming down, gas coming up. Everything looks a-okay for now. Overlord going to be coming out saying, "What that Terran doing? What that Terran doing? Better not be in no bunker in my natural." It's up here in the main base. Gas pool coming up. On the other side of the map, it's going to be a barracks finishing up here soon. No shenanigans just yet, but of course it's only a minute into this. It is going to be a Reaper expand, I think, out of 9K. So Overlord, loving his long walk on the beach of a volcanic wasteland. I mean, to each their own. Gonna be walking in, touring this Terran main base. And here we have the primitive Terrans with their orifices and their curious little arms. Not evolutionarily advanced, of course. However, they are quite vicious. Please do not smile at them. They take it as a sign of aggression, and they do not like it, as it is going to be a Marine follow-up after a Reaper pops out for our Terran player down here in the bottom right, of Ruby Rock. It's going to be two Zerglings. A third going to be able to be placed here very fast for Cheoklate. This man doesn't want to take any chances that 9K might block it, as these Zerglings are going to have a little bit of damage put on them. The Reaper dancing back and forth. Oh my god, did Clem take the wheel here, as it is going to get nibbled on. Going to pick off that one Zergling. Holy crap. If he gets that second Zergling, he is not going to get the second Zergling, as Cheoklate is going to defend with this queen. Up here in the main base, though, we got another queen, just chilling. Living her best queen life. Just saying. Oh, now it's time to inject the hatchery. Over here in the natural, it is going to be a creep tumor first. Looking to connect the creep between the natural and the third here is Cheoklate. As over here, the saturation continues. The droning builds up, and the Zerg war machine never stops. It is going to be a second gas over here in the natural. The main base, only one gas mining on the third CC. I am Protoss brain right now. It's going to be coming up here. 111, a double Hellion going to be in production. Here's the first two Hellions. Let's see where they're rallied. They're going to be rallied over here. I suspect it's going to be Hellion Banshee out of our Terran player. It's on the other side of the map. It is going to be a full scout on the third. Up here in the main base, is going to get a good, solid look at this queen. He's going to be saying, hey, I want to take a good long look at your drones. Going to be looking at them, going to be scouting them, going to be poking around at them as the Reaper gets his just vengeance as the Zerglings finally catch it down. What a mouth on that Reaper. It's a dang shame he didn't go into comedy. Over here on the other side of the map, a natural going to be saturating yet more. It's going to be a Banshee on the way, more Hellions. Metabolic boost finishing up here for Cheoklate, as over here is going to be further creep spread. Oh my god, Magnum. It is going to be a fourth base. Holy mother of meat. Few roasty toasty drones. It's going to be two drones already going down. It's going to be a full wall just barely in time, as these Evos are going to be able to block these Hellions from getting into the main bases. They're also going to scout the drone, but They're not interested in small beans. No, these guys are gamblers. They go for the big jackpot in the middle of the map. They went for the big jackpot over here at the goal, but the risks were a little too high for them. As on the other side of the map, 2 more Hellions are going to be joining them. A natural wall full of those absolutely amazing supply depots. There's another barracks is going to be coming down. There's going to be a third barrack coming down. 3cc producing SCV is going to fully saturate this base in record time. As this third CC is going to be able to lift up and go over to this third here, I suspect that the follow-up here is going to be very, very much drop heavy, as these 5 queens are going to be looking to maybe secure this area, maybe also secure, oh, it's going to be a 4th over here, maybe we're going to be seeing a 5th over here as these Hellions are poking around. We're going to be seeing if Cheoklate is going to be taking that particular base. Over here up in the main base, there is nothing going on. Up here, over here in the natural is double Evo, maybe looking to go for a +1 melee, +1 carapace as a 5th hatchery. A macro hatchery is going to be coming down for here. No tech as of yet. The third is going to be fully saturated with 2 additional drones. Probably going to be pulled into gas here real soon. As up here, Spore Crawler, Spore? No Spore. Double Banshee going to be poking at this 4th hatchery. Going to probably slow it down a bit. Going to slow down mining and force these queens to reposition for certain. As over here on the other side of the map, it is going to be a second. Is that second starport? No, that's two more barracks. The third floats down is going to be muled. It is going to have a nice little protective wall off. So over here, the queens push away the banshees and manage to save this particular hatchery. A nice mental win for Cheoklate, but we'll see how far it goes as the Terran war machine doesn't seem to be slowing down. But then again, it seems like Cheoklate looking to answer the call, answer the challenge. He does not seem to be slowing down himself either, as these gases up in the main base are not quite saturated all the way yet. Maybe a mistake, maybe deliberate. I think it's going to be deliberate. This man's playing 4,000 IQ mind games, as it is going to be a Hellion Marine push out with a siege tank and 2 banshees over here going to be resting at the natural, maybe looking to defend against any potential Ling harass. As on the other side of the map, he might just scan here. Yep, he's going to scan, pick off some of this creep, going to be poking away over here, maybe siege the siege tank over here. And then just straight, oh, he's going for the nasty position. This man's going for the throat. He's going to siege it up in a bit of a... He's going to target down this hatchery. Unfortunately, he's not going to be able to get it, as these Lings are voluminous. He's going to get a full wrap around, as these Marines are probably going to get gunned down, as the siege tank going toe-to-toe with 4 queens. This man, no balls, no fucks given. Is going to get out of there. He's going to suffer a lot of damage. It's very nice cleanup out of Cheoklate here. It was probably going to get a layer here. Oh, he already has a layer. Missed that. Really bad. It's going to be Hydraling Bane for Cheoklate. It's going to try to go on the counterattack with these Lings. However, it's going to be met by the Marines of NineK. Over here in the natural, it is no 2-2 yet. However, +2 ground attack is going to start up here just as soon as I say that. Caster's Curse. Banelings, a lot of Banelings. Holy mother of Banelings. Holy crap, that's a lot of Banelings. As over here, the Marines are going to be pushing in. They're going to scout all these Banelings. Going to be able to target down a few cocoons. Not before the Banelings finish, so it's going to force a lift off. And that is just in time for NineK. It's going to be pulling back here onto the other side of the map. Do we see a 4th command center here for our Terran player? Not quite yet. However, it is a lot of barracks, a lot of Marines. Maybe look to go for an 8 racks here. It's going to be 5, 6, 7 barracks here. 6, 7, a bunch of kids going to be crying out in happiness here. As these Banshees are going to be scouting these queens, poking forward with this queen, the other phoneme, creep. These Lings going to be poking over here, but these Lings looking to say, get off my lawn. With their little Zergling shotguns, they're going to push away this Terran. A few creep troopers going to get picked off. A couple of Marines going to get picked off in responses to these medevacs are sitting here at home. And it is a lot of Marines. These Banelings either are going to get the biggest connections ever, or they're going to get a million small connections. Or NineK is just going to absolutely split like Clem and target all of them down. Which seems to be the alternative, as these Banelings run forward. That all of a sudden leaves these queens off creep, and that is going to force a lot of lanes to be made. However, I don't think that's going to be enough, as it is a lot of Marines. 2-2, almost 3/4 of the way done, +2 attack. It is going to be a nice connection from these banelings, but he's going to need a lot more than that if he's going to hold on against this. These links looking to slide on by, looking to try to maybe catch off these siege tanks. However, they're not going to be able to do that, as a round of banelings is finished. As I believe he's going to be able to hold here is Cheoklate. However, these siege tanks are not relenting. He's going to be forced to give up this fourth base, as it does die. +2 melee, +2 carapace, almost finished here for Cheoklate, who is probably going to be trying... Oh, these banelings going to absolutely force this lift up, and there's going to be 2 more siege tanks going down. It's going to be an excellent lift up from NineK, absolutely doing the damage he needed to, forcing off a 4th base. Cheoklate with a nice defense, a nice recovery, however, is going to prevent the push from NineK from doing the damage it wants, as these many lings are going to be pouring up here, up into the main base, and it is going to be a patrol here for these bunch of lings. A nice split up from Cheoklate is going to prevent NineK from ever advancing too far and getting the drone damage that he wants. An Ultra Den here is going to be coming up, and I really like this decision from Cheoklate. This is absolutely going to hit hard, especially since there's a lot of Marines. There's no Ghost Academy yet, so far as I know. Let's look at the other side of the map. I am absolutely going to miss the killing blow. It is a pretty long map, and both players are Zerg. If both players do roll Zerg, I don't know, maybe we might be able to see some mineral line shenanigans, or gas mineral shenanigans over by that mineral wall off. But enough about that, as down here in the bottom right of 10,000 feet, it is Representative Platinum here is looking to get vengeance for game number 1. It is Cheoklate. And up here in the top left, representing all inspiration, it is the daddiest of 9Ks, it is NineK. It's going to be a 15 hatch again for Cheoklate. We'll see what he plans to do this time. Maybe he'll try to do the same build. Maybe he'll go for something a little different. I honestly think he had a really good start to that last game. And I'm really eager to see what he brings out in this game number 2. Because at the end of the day, Cheoklate is an absolutely amazing player. Oh, wait. Sorry, that's... There we go. Is an absolutely amazing player, and that was just bonkers how well he defended a lot of the early aggression. Like, for sure, I would have died to that first push from NineK, and this man just held it off with pure ling. Like, give me an Ultralisk and I would still die. And this freaking magician does it with only Ling and Queen. Holy moly. On the other side of the map, it is going to be a standard opener for NineK, as on this side of the map, yet another standard opener. We're not going to be seeing any funky little shenanigans, at least for a little while yet. Maybe we'll see a Nidus. Nidus Worm, the ultimate weapon of the final war. It's going to be a Reaper into Reactor, and they did not host it with game art. This is going to be a little bit difficult, but I don't anticipate too many problems with casting here. Just going to be very difficult to count the worker losses here as the factory comes up. It's going to be a 1-1-1, I believe. Maybe he might mech. NineK is crazy. He might mech here. It is going to be a Reaper into Reactor here. A little bit of a change up, not really much of one that will signal any major changes to the game plan. It's just going to be 1 Marine less, as on the other side of the map. Cheoklate here is just opening up very standard, very simple. It is going to be no ling speed. It just has 1 mining. This man has a game plan. Curious as to what it is. Is he? Oh, he starts researching ling speed right now. Maybe he was going for the faster queens. I mean, he did start up a third queen almost immediately after the second one. Honestly, this looks like space wizardry. As up here in the main base, it is going to be, again, Hellion Banshee. Maybe looking to start a third CC. No, maybe he's going to start another barracks. 2-1? Yeah, a fusion core. We're going to see some BCs out of this thing. And considering the size of the BCs and considering the size of the hole that I think they fit out of, that BC is going to be ripping out of there like the hole coming out of the womb. Hulk smash. That's how you came about, son. Queen's going to be gathering up around here, as it is going to be still one worker on gas. Maybe looking to get a bit of a faster layer here is Cheoklate. It's getting a few more lings, going up to about 14 lings here is Cheoklate, I think. I think that's 14. I can count, right? Yeah, no, that's 10. Okay, I can't count. I'm Zerg. We don't need numbers. But it is going to be, at the end of the day, 14 lings here for our Zerg player. Up here in the top right, a lot of Hellion and Reaper. It's like, It's like one of those self-defense scenarios that you run into at the bar, and your buddy's just sitting there telling you about. All right, so you gotta defend yourself from 3 gorillas, and all you got is a machine gun, a deagle, and a hand grenade, and that Reaper's the hand grenade. 6 Hellion, 1 Reaper gonna be coming on by here. These lings on a patrol path. Hut 2, 3, 4. Hut 2, 3, 4. These Zerglings are very well disciplined. Is up in the main base here. Is he going to be able to scout? Is he going to scout it here? He knows something's up, but he has no idea what's up. He hasn't seen a Banshee. Maybe he expects something of the sort, and he does, as the Spore Crawlers are done in each mineral line. So this BC is going to have a lot of work to do, as it is going to be a 2-1-1 follow-up here for NineK. Alright, does he teleport? He teleports! Oh my god, balls deep. This man goes into Cheoklate's base, and he kills the queen. And the second queen coming across, he's like, hey, get away from my drones. As it almost goes down, but it transfused from its sisterhood? Brethren? Fraternity? Sorority? A sorority of queens going to be helping push away this battle cruiser. As one is going to come over here to inject this hatchery. Hatchery feeling very good about itself at this particular point in time, having soaked a lot of damage from this battle cruiser. Scan's going to be coming down to clear up some of this creep, and it's going to push back the vision on this particular side of the map, forcing Cheoklate to recreate that side. Behind this, we have +1 ground attack for our Terran player, as stim and combat shields are going to be... Oh, wait, it's... Okay, stim was already researched. There's going to be combat shields coming up here. These 2 Marines just sitting there, thinking, you know what? This guard duty's boring, man. On the other side of the map, it is going to be these Reapers getting caught out by these Zerglings. It's going to be a full surround here, as every single one of these, I believe, will go down, right? Yeah. Oh, no. Oh, no. The Reaper lives. That Reaper's going to have one hell of a story to tell his buddies at the bar. As the battle cruiser continues to target down this Overlord, as Transfuse gets used on the Overlord. A second Transfuse, as these Queens get caught out, all of them are going to go down, and this push from NineK all of a sudden has a lot more traction than it ever had any business having. As this second Overlord is going to be going down here, this battle cruiser putting on some damage, these Marines furthermore putting on damage, and NineK, no fucks given, going balls deep on creep. This man has no chill at all, and he kills these Lings, and they're just going to keep trickling in, and I believe that this may very well be GG as for NineK, much to the chagrin of Cheoklate. Maybe we'll see some Protoss, maybe we'll see some Zerg. We'll see what shakes up here on Tyto Citadel, as it is going to be a very, very brutal matchup for both players. Cheoklate need to win 3 in a row to secure his victory. However, if NineK takes the 3-0, he will gain 6 points, advancing further up the ladder. And with that on the line, this man down here in the bottom right absolutely must pull out all stops. It is representing the Platinum Heroes. It is Cheoklate. And up here in the top left, representing all inspiration, it is NineK. Rolling Zerg. It is ZVZ here. We'll see if the spidey senses for our Zerg player over here on the bottom right, our green Zerg, go off here. Something that whispers in the back of his head, hey, 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 hey. It's Zerg versus Zerg. One wonders if my PC will be able to withstand the sheer micro potential of all these players, as they will probably go for a pretty hefty Ling Bane micro. As it is going to be a very equal opener for both players. Up here in the top, more drones coming down. Maybe looking to make a hatch gas and pool. Down here in the bottom right, similar story coming down. Gas is coming down at the same time. Both players absolutely playing mirrors and colors. Tell a lot of stories. But they're all ruled by the one overmind. Dominated. Ooh, woo. Uwu dominated by the Overmind are both of these players, as they will be absolutely painstakingly mirroring each other. This is going to be a pool finishing for both players, and NineK. Queen starts out for both. It's going to be a very, very standard setup. It's going to be one drone being pulled out of gas. A bit of a strange turnout for NineK, as up here in the main base, it is going to be... Shit. As over here, down here, with Cheoklate, it is going to be, more drones coming out. Ling speed starts up for NineK, however, for Cheoklate, it is not going to be, a Ling speed, it is going to be a layer. Maybe looking to start up a Roach Warren here and a Evo Chamber. And it is a Baneling Nest. So, from here, we have a few options for ZVZ. First option, we have a Ling Bane all-in from NineK, as Cheoklate will seek to defend. Excellent map vision for Cheoklate. Will scout this coming out. He will see the third, so it is definitely not going to be an all-in. So that means more drones are going to be coming out. This Overlord going to absolutely be a lifesaver here. And there's no third yet. 2 base Roach, plus 1 missile. Layer finished up here for our Zerg player in green. And it's Overlord coming up. Roach Warren, absolutely dominating. Dominating the scene. Absolutely giggity dominating, as is going to be double evolution chamber. Maybe looking to create a little more of a wall up here for as Cheoklate, as these Lings are going to poke in. Going to see nothing but mild supply block. 53 to 52 is absolutely going to mess around with how the macro cycle is going to go, as this queen finishes up at the third. 3 queens. 4 score and 7 queens go. We have 3 queens in this game, as there's a major supply block. Laser Lords, about 6 of them. Sweet baby Jesus. And NineK just sailing on in. Another Evo Chamber going to be coming down. It is going to be slightly faster Roaches, and we're going to be seeing a timing here in about 20 seconds, I believe, from Cheoklate. As these Lings are going to come in, they're going to see this move out. Maybe he'll attack, maybe he won't, maybe he'll just seek to be defensive. Maybe securing himself a third first and then moving out across the map here will Cheoklate. A base advantage for NineK, and he has been mining it longer. So the income advantage is in our purple Zerg's favor. Roach speed just now starting up is going to certainly make maneuverability a little more difficult, as these lings are going to be putting some damage down on this hatchery. Not a whole lot, mind you. However, these roaches say, I take your... Oh god, that is not a good fight you want. That is not a fight you want to take as NineK, as it is a upgraded advantage for Cheoklate, and he is absolutely going to have a spot of trouble cleaning this up, as it is looks like NineK is going to hold on. Oh my god, what? 6 roaches going to be holding on against 8 roaches. Defensive setup for both players going to be absolutely dominating, as it's going to be more roaches on the way in for Cheoklate. He's going to pick off these incoming roaches, but NineK is going to help him out and kill his own roach, and he's going to try to come into this third here, which will have a spine crawler building, and it's going to, I think the spine crawler is going to get targeted down, but no, some of these drones are going to get killed, as these roaches are absolutely having a hell of a time trying to catch these faster roaches, as these roaches have absolutely done their cardio this morning, and they are feeling pumped and ready to rock as more roaches are coming across for Cheoklate. I think the defense for NineK is going to be razor thin here, and I don't think he's going to be able to secure as the concave for Cheoklate is going to secure him a win. The upgrade advantage coming in clutch for Cheoklate, and I think that's going to wrap up this game here for Cheoklate, absolutely making a comeback here in this game number 3 of this best of 5. Oh my god. More roaches, more lings. These roaches are slightly bruised, so oh my god, it's going to be a burrowed roach that's going to be sitting there. He's sitting there doing his thing, and it is going to be an unburrow half ambush? I don't even think that's an ambush, as it is going to be a cleanup from NineK here. Surprising turnaround of events, as roach speed will finish up, the upgrades will equalize, and +2 missile is going to afford yet another upgrade advantage for Cheoklate here, for at least for the time being, as +1 carapace is on the way, as only halfway done, which will make things a touch more difficult to match the damage, but it will absolutely be amazing to set up into a mid-game. On the other side of the map, this overseer is going to scout exactly what's going on. The base for Cheoklate is mining a lot more than this third base for NineK, as these two overlords, best buddies, holding hands, going to be sitting there saying, BFFs forever. As the roaches over here are going to be sitting on the job, and this is definitely an interesting fight. And there's going to be a lot of roaches going down for Cheoklate here, as the army supply dips for both players. However, it is just equalized. No Ling Bane phase means that this game was never on a razor's edge. This is basically like being on a tightrope here, as it takes just one concave. More roaches coming out for Cheoklate. I don't believe he can push up here, but he believes otherwise, as he is going to be pushing up here and burrows. Cheoklate getting that overseer, going to be very much trying to spot these. He wants these roaches. This man wants to catch these roaches. This man is absolutely looking for these roaches. This is going to be pure roach, no drones here. It is 46 to 45 workers. Neither of these guys are terribly interested in droning up a whole lot more, as this overseer raining overhead is going to prevent any burrow shenanigans coming out of NineK, and there's going to be a starter step forward for Cheoklate here, as this third base is getting ransacked by more lings. Six drones going down here is going to set the worker advantage into NineK's favor, but the roach advantage is still very much in Cheoklate's favor, as it is an army advantage here. Just like arm wrestling, this may very well slowly go in the favor of Cheoklate. More roaches coming out. He's going to be trying to take this high ground, force Cheoklate to push up here, but I don't. Cheoklate is going to push up a little bit, see what's going on, and he's going to pull back, and there's going to be an equal army advantage yet once more. NineK holding on brilliantly. +2 carapace, +2 missile on the way, evening out that advantage here. 5 Ravagers on the way for Cheoklate here. Just going to give him a severe advantage. Wait, no, that's 5 Ravagers for NineK. It's going to be 5 Ravagers apiece. Why is there only 4? Oh, there's more lings on the way here. everything just going perfectly to plan for Cheoklate for the time being. He did lose a few of those workers, and he is going to defend this Ling run by, which is going to get put a fair bit of damage on these roaches, force Cheoklate to reposition a fair bit, as these roaches for NineK are circling about. No creep spread for either player, as creep spread benefits both, and it ultimately just cancels itself out. More Ravagers on the way. The low health Ravagers are going to be morphed first, and there is no fourth base for either player. NineK looking to change that, though, as he takes his fourth base. On the other side of the map, Cheoklate, again with an army advantage. But it's 21. Never mind, I was about to say it's very slight. Burrowed roaches, lurking about, going to be running in, and they get spotted. The first run gets spotted, and this is a lot of damage here. This is going to be a lot, very costly and very bad for Cheoklate. However, he might be able to get damage done with this. But another Overseer is going to scout exactly what's going on. One roach going to be poking out at this particular hatchery, as three more are going to be headed over here, and Spine Crawler, Spore Crawler, but they're bypassing all that and going straight to the main here, with three more roaches coming out, fourth on the way. NineK is going to have a very good defense here, as the attack from Cheoklate is going to try to come over here, and this is just Mass Ravager over here. Now, Ravagers are good, but they need some meat. They need some meat between them and the sheer amount of roaches. Because you can bile all you want, but did he just kill his own Ravager? That might have been NineK. Is going to be 5 drones going down for NineK. The roaches did poke in over here, and they're still over here. They're going to target down this queen, and that is going to be insanely costly here. But it is not going to kill this other queen that keeps injecting. On the other side of the map, it is a very solid defense. This is the kind of meat that you need in this particular army. These two drones poking about, these two roaches, sorry. I keep confusing drones and roaches. And it's going to be biles that force a reposition for Cheoklate here. Might just decide to bile here. It's going to force NineK to pull back, but NineK just face tanks all of that, and he's just surrounding this army, which is a brilliant move here. He's going to try to absolutely conquer this army, and he is absolutely going to get away with it, as there are a bunch of roaches in his natural ransacking. He's going to try to target down this roach warren and prevent his defense from being able to come back in time. However, this defense at the front is not going to be able to hold on. That's just going to be not very good at all, as this takes a sudden turn in the favor of NineK, as this army for Cheoklate is going to be absolutely going down. On the other side of the map, these roaches see these other burrowed roaches, and it's just not a comfortable matchup here for Cheoklate here, who is going to have his Ravagers biled down, and he's not going to be able to mount a defense. Everything is going wrong for Cheoklate here, as his own roach warren goes down. 6 more roaches on the way here. So we're going to pull drones here into these roaches, as a slight move command is going to afford him an advantage, but it is not going to give him the victory here, as NineK looks to secure this 3-0 in a very astounding turn of events here. Got to push up this ramp. There's not enough here for Cheoklate to hold on. 42 to 51. Going down very so slightly, but this is just too late for Cheoklate here. As it is going to be a base trade. He's got 4 roaches here, 5 roaches over here, 4 roaches over here, but I don't think he's going to be able to clean all this up. This is a full-on base trade, as NineK managed to evacuate some drones. However, only Cheoklate has enough for a hatchery in any sort of structure here. So NineK is going to have to do some serious heavy lifting to be able to even eke out a minor victory on this one. So I think NineK's dead. No, he still has this. Oh no, he lost. And Cheoklate takes game number 3. Oh, come on, bud. His momentum is definitely halted. We'll see what that yields here in this game number 4 of this best of 5 on White Rabbit. The Matrix is strong with this one. As down here, in the bottom right, on the bottom left of White Rabbit, representing the Platinum Heroes, it is Cheoklate, making a brilliant comeback in that previous game. And up here in the top right, rolling Terran, it is NineK, representing All Inspiration. I think this is going to be really tough for Cheoklate. NineK's Terran is really good. If NineK had rolled Protoss or Zerg, I would say Cheoklate would have I'd say about 13% chance better odds of taking the win against NineK. But since NineK rolled Terran, this is going to be an uphill battle, to say the least. Sisyphus would look at this and say, oh no. It's going to be a 15 hatch, 18 gas, 17 pool on the other side of the map. Very standard stuff. Probably going to be seeing Reaper into Reactor here with a CC on the low ground for NineK. It's very much steady early game. Both players playing safe. Cheoklate leaving one drone in gas, maybe looking to get a slightly faster layer here, as this Overlord does in fact scout that it is Terran that he's going against. Hatchery almost finished up here in the main base, so is the pool. He pulls 2 out of gas. He is definitely going to go for that faster layer. And Cheoklate complimenting him, looking to drop NineK's guard. The factory starts up here. It's going to be Reaper into Marine here. Maybe then into Reactor. There we go. There's a Reactor. This man has gotten T twice. And for the record, it is TTZT. TT. Command center on the natural going to be finishing up here as this Reaper is going to scout this relatively well-timed third as his own third comes up. 3cc, 111. All in all, very standard. Economic damage has got to be immense if Cheoklate decides to commit to an early aggression. However, it doesn't look like he's going to be doing so as link speed is just not starting up. It's going to be a starport here. Second gas at the natural. Third CC halfway done. Third hatchery mostly done. All in all, very quiet, very standard. 4 drones popping out. Cute little critters, they are! Unfortunately, they have been infested with cybernetics. Link speed 2/3 of the way done. Of course, the starport and the barracks are going to be playing a game of musical chairs as we are going to see a Banshee come out. It's going to be Hellion Banshee for NineK here. These drones are going to be transferring over here to the third. He is absolutely going to be sailing into this with a vengeance. Third CC turning into an orbital here is going to tell a tale of high eco. Stim probably looking to start up here. Second and third barracks going to be on the way very soon here. As on the other side of the map, these Hellions come in. It's going to be 4 drones getting roasty toasty. And 2 lings. However, they are going to get all cleaned up. So it is ultimately going to be very good. I think that's a very good trade. That's 200 resources for 200. And these Hellions are not going to scale well into the mid and late game, so honestly would definitely take that trade a lot of the time. 4 queens positioning, overlords in very good positions to see these Hellions coming, and all in all, they're just poking around. Going to see this 4th base coming up. It is going to be a line 4th, expanding up the right side of the map, possibly, is going to be Cheoklate. He might take this base next, he might take this base next, but if he takes this base next, he will be the Zerg Savior. Sorry. Sorry, I had to burp there. 2nd and 3rd barracks is going to be coming up here as a reactor is going to be put on this starport, and this Overlord is just scouting in. Looking at that, 2 more barracks come down. It's going to be 5 racks. It's probably going to lift this up and put it on the reactor here. As these Hellions keeping very steady guard. Going to be a supply depot wall off over here at the ramp. This area is going to be open. But if any aggression is going to come from Cheoklate, if it's going to have the effect that he wants, it's probably either going to come from here, here, or here for the time being. At least until NineK secures this base, he's going to have a hard time. As these Banshees are coming in, they're going to target down 5 drones with only minor hull damage. That is an absolutely amazing amount of damage for NineK here. These 4... creep tumors sitting there right under the noses. However, these are going to get splashed a bit. However, they're going to survive, at least for the time being. These 2 queens push away these Hellions, and maybe he's going to look to poke into this 4th base, as these queens suspect similarly, and they're going to eject. These guys are going to drone in, catch 3 drones, and get on out of there. What is the tech for this behind this for Cheoklate? It's going to be a lair. It's going to be Baneley Nest, +1 melee, +1 carapace on the way. More lings. Going to be finishing up here for our Zerg player in green, and he's going to catch these Hellions. I don't think he's going to be able to kill all of them here, as this push from NineK is going to be coming across the map. There are no Banelings yet. And he is just now going to see that this push is happening. These lings are going to come in here, but I think they're going to die here, especially with the support of the medevacs. The siege tank going to be coming on in, as it is going to be 17 Banelings being more. 4 queens going to be coming in to assist in the defense. And NineK is going to see exactly what's going on here, and he's going to target down these queens as much as possible before these Banelings finishes. He's going to be able to target down at least 8 cocoons, and the siege tank target fire on these Banelings is going to be absolutely bonkers, as these Marines split up. What is this, Clem? As NineK absolutely takes a dominating fight over here by Cheoklate's 3rd base, and the crux between his 3rd and his 4th. And the supply is telling a horrific tale for our Zerg player, and as he's probably going to be forced to GG. It is going to be a 3-1 for NineK here. Very well played by both players. It was absolutely on the knife's edge a lot of the time as well. However, NineK is going to get the better trade of that at the end of the day, forcing out an absolutely amazing victory as he takes the 3-1. Cheoklate